Terence Bud Crawford, one of the pound for pound best fighters on the planet. No doubt about it. But we got to talk about some stuff. This is your boy JG, the Punch Report. Let's go. Like I said before, y'all, welcome back to the channel. This is your boy JG. Welcome to the Punch Report. All things boxing, MMA, combat sports. Let's get right into it. So you see the title of the video. Terence Bud Crawford, the best pound for pound, if not one of the best pound for pound fighters on the planet today. Offer no argument. Last week I put out a couple videos breaking down the Yordenis Ugas Errol Spence fight. And one of the common themes that I noticed in those videos is a name popping up in the comment section. That name was Bud Crawford, Terence Bud Crawford, Omaha's very own Omaha stand-up. Let's go. I got called a Hamanite, a Spence sexual, that was new, PBC fanboy, but I'm only covering a fight that's taking place. Yordenis Ugas is fighting Errol Spence Saturday, April 16th. But I want to address the Terence Crawford implications, if there are any, and how these names are tied together, a la Mayweather-Pacquiao, which is a fight that came 8 years too late, 9 years too late or whatever. We know who Terence Crawford is. He's a violent human being who's special in the sport of boxing, truly ambidextrous, will go out there and destroy you, punish you, hurt you, and really highlight real fashion. I think about, and I brought this one up before, the John Molina fight, where he was hitting on John Molina like a heavy bag in LA Fitness, like he was just wailing on his ass. And the thing of it is he gets you out of there, but then he tells you about it. So it's not enough that he whoops your ass. He also has to say, hey, look, I whooped your ass. That just happened. Shout out to like the 100, go back, or excuse me, yeah, that was at 140. Both those fights, or these fights are 140. The Hank Lundy fight, you go back to the Hank Lundy fight, he punched Hank Lundy where his arm like almost flew out the ring a little bit. He was fucked up. And then he still told Hank Lundy when they finally waved it off, like, yeah, Hank Lundy, I'm your fucking daddy. So shout out to Bud Crawford. With all of that being said, the excitement surrounding the style of fighter that he is, what he brings to the ring, the commitment he has to the sport, he stays in shape. We have to acknowledge the fact that he's made questionable business decisions. I want to say it was in 2018, September, October time, he makes a decision to re-sign with Top Rank, which was a long-term deal. I think it was from 18 to 2025, I think that's the time period. Regardless, they promised the Jeff Horn fight. He gets the Jeff Horn fight, beats him, becomes WBO champion. And then what happens after that? Jose Benavidez, Amir Khan, Kaviaskis, Kell Brook, and then Sean Porter, I believe. Maybe in that order. But my point is, not a lot of name-known guys. In the Kell Brook fight, Kell Brook made more money than Terence Crawford did. So I don't feel like Top Rank, and this is all chronicled, Top Rank struggled, to say the least, to promote Terence Crawford. And I feel like it's boiled over into frustrations for him and his team. Now they're obviously in litigation against Top Rank for racial discrimination or racial bias or whatever, and not promoting him as a fighter. We'll see where that goes or if it has merit. But what I would say is this. There was enough information available for Terence Crawford to say, hey, look, listen, we got to 2018. I was undisputed at 140 pounds. I'm pound for pound one of the best fighters in the world, if not the best. I need to make a business decision for myself. Even if that is be independent, work out one fight deals, and maximize your talent and your name and start being more promotional as a fighter or as a brand, then you can go that route. But when they re-signed in 2018 to that Top Rank deal, for me, that's what I knew. There was nothing else for me to talk about. I don't need to talk about Errol Spence fight coming up or Keith Thurman. You know, he never got the Pacquiao deal. And that tells you everything you need to know. Pacquiao was a legend in the sport, but they were under the same Top Rank umbrella. This stuff is all common information. And he never got that fight. He never got to fight Pacquiao. Pacquiao leaves, go to BBC. He fights Adrian Broner. He fights Keith Thurman. Got the belt off Keith Thurman. He fought Ugas. I think he fought Brandon Rios when he was over there, but all these guys get an opportunity to fight Pacquiao, but Bud Crawford didn't. And ESPN knows why, Top Rank knows why, because Bud Crawford would have cooked Manny Pacquiao straight like that. Like, stopped his ass viciously. Worse than Marquez when he stopped him in the fourth fight. But I have to bring these things up because when I see individuals coming from myself or mentioning Errol Spence's name in a video about Errol Spence and Ugas, they bring up Bud Crawford. I want to see that fight. I think both those guys want to do that fight. I think that Bud Crawford and I think that Errol Spence want to do that fight, and that's going to work out eventually. Like I said before, it's going to be too little too late, maybe. Especially with, I think, Errol being 31, Crawford being 35 years old. Yeah, we're running out of time for that fight. But we have to acknowledge and accept, not like, but acknowledge and accept that the politics in boxing have kept many great fights from happening straight like that. It's not new, it's not changing, it's frustrating, and it's why this sport, when you see great fighters lumped around a division, like I said, 26, 30, 35, 40, 47, 54, right? 60, 68. There's so many fights in that bracket that we won't get to see because of politics, and it is frustrating. But when I make a video about Errol Spence, who's fighting Yordenis Ugas April 16th, out, barring injury or whatever, that's happening, I find it fascinating always that you see the Bud Crawford comments. This is a good fight. Yordenis Ugas, Errol Spence, no matter who you're picking or what you think, it's a good fight. It's a 3-belt fight, unification bout. It puts somebody like Errol Spence in the position to really go for undisputed at 147. It moves him closer to that. Quite honestly, this is the type of fight. If I'm Terence Crawford, I'm thinking, all right, cool. Let me get some work. Maybe go down and fight a Josh Taylor. That'd be hard right now because he's top ranked. He's soon top ranked, but that or maybe like a Regis Prograis or something. I will stay busy, and then once Errol's a 3-belt champion, and then Crawford has a WBA belt, or excuse me, WBO belt, that makes it easier for you to say, look, listen, I know he's 3-belt champion, but I got this strap right here. I stand between him and undisputed, and he stands between me and legitimacy and cementing myself at the 147-pound division. If you're Crawford, let's get this fight going. That's a better bargaining chip. I think about comments put out to the media, whether it's Crawford. Recently, his stuff has been more positive and more in line with, I want to do the fight. I think Errol wants to fight. But I feel like Bomac and some of the messaging that he puts out there, who is Terence Crawford's trainer and manager, can be damaging to rapport building. If I'm talking about F this and F that, and this person's weak, or they're ussy, or they running scared, any of those types of things, how do you expect the individual to come to the table like, hey, look, I know you dogged me all last week in the media, but I'd like to make a deal with you and your fighter to get this 147-pound, undisputed on the line. How much sense does that make? So I question the methods about going about getting this fight done if you're in the Crawford camp. I'm gonna wrap the video up right here. But what I wanted to really end on is this. Errol Spence Jr. is fighting Yordenis Ugas for 3 belts. That's the line. Right now, Terence Crawford, we don't know what he's going to do, who he's going to sign with, or what his options are. That's problematic, especially from a negotiation standpoint. We know that Terence Crawford is an absolute beast. Inside that ring, forget about it. You will get lumped up, made to quit, look bad. He has something different in him. I think about the Sean Porter fight. There's a clip where you go to his corner, Terence Crawford's corner, and Bomac telling him, look, what I'm hearing is you down on the cards. I think this was around 8 or 9. Crawford's like, I'm down, how? He's confused because he feels like he's doing his thing. And then he's like, I don't know. Look, I don't know, but they got you down. Crawford just says, all right, cool. He goes out there, he turns it up, knocks him down. Then, you know what happens after that. Knocks him down again. Sean Porter's high. He's beating on the little ring or whatever. And then, his pops gets up in the ring and, waves a white flag. But we know that Terence Crawford is special. When we talk about Errol Spence being the beast that he is and how he's going to really run this 147-pound division without Crawford, that's not a lie. That's not facts. It's not disparagement. And it's not being a PPC fanboy. But Terence Crawford has to figure out a way to get himself in these rooms to make these fights. That's no shade. That's no disrespect. But that's what has to happen next. That's my time. This is your boy, JG. The Punch Report, always on deck. Appreciate the love. You guys are pushing us closer and closer to 500 subs. So if you're seeing this video for the first time, make sure to like, subscribe, bell icon for notification. Special shout out to my man Jason Green. He had some work for me. Shout out to Coach Joe. You guys are it. It's your boy JG. We out.